Good morning. I'll start the session now. Last class we discussed about the modular framework. That means how to create the multiple actions in a test, how to reuse those actions, how to execute some of the actions in a test, how to execute test scripts as a batch using driver script, using test batch runner, using AOM concept, automation object model. And we discussed about the recovery scenarios. During runtime, if any interruptions are raised, how to handle those interruptions and how to continue the script execution with help of the recovery scenarios and exception handling. Today we are going to discuss about the library functions. With help of the library functions, how we can perform some keyword driven framework and functional decomposition framework. These are the two types of frameworks we are going to cover today. Now, what is the major objective of the actions in QTP? What is the major objective of the actions in QTP? What purpose they are going to use actions? Reusability. Reusability. Now here, this is the advantage. When I go for actions, one test you may create a script. The script you can call into the another actions, another test. That is the reusability. Now if you go for one test I am going to take here. This is one test. It is test 1. Assuming that I have the action 1 here. In this action 1, I have the statements like this. Number of statements are given like this. Now this time my requirement is like this. In this action, I have some statements like this. Assuming that these 3 statements are there in this block. So this portion of the statements I want to use within the action different places. Here I want to use, second time I want to use, same thing I want to use here, third time also. So here within the action some statements which I want to reuse within the action only. Whole script I want to call means I can call that one using run action. You can write run action, action. But within the action, some portion of script I want to reuse. So how we can do that one? For that purpose, we have the concept called functions. Called functions. Now what I can do here, this portion of script I can take into the one function. I can create one function. The function I can call here wherever it is required. That is the concept of the functions. Why we are going to prefer functions. It is also reusability. It is also reusability. Whereas actions is the QTP concept. Whereas functions is the VB script concept. Functions are VB script concept. Now, we'll see today how we can use these functions, how we can use these functions in our keyword driven framework and functional decomposition framework. So what we understand here, functions in VB script. The purpose to reuse the script within the action also action or test, we can go for functions. That's major purpose. Now, there are two types of functions available. Functions in VBScript. One we can say built-in functions. Built-in functions. Other one is user-defined functions we are going to call. User-defined functions. One is built-in functions. Other one is user-defined functions. Already we seen some functions like this. We have some experience with this, like I used message box. What is the use of this one? Display the user message during runtime. Input box function. It will read the keyboard inputs during runtime. So we are not defined any operation. We are not defined any operation, whereas this is already defined by the VBScript developers. So they define some program. So according to that, it will display the user message that can be read the values. Now the built-in functions we are going to call. These are predefined. These are predefined functions in VBScript to perform particular operation. Now, second one, user-defined functions. Based on your requirement, what type of operation do you want to perform again and again? What type of script do you want to reuse again and again? That script you can create in your user-defined functions. User has to define these functions where we are going to call user-defined functions. These user-defined functions are two types. One is sub-procedure. Other one is function procedure. One is sub-procedure, other one is function procedure. Now what is sub-procedure? How we can create? See the syntax here. The keyword starts with the sub, then procedure name, that is user defined name. You can give an interested name. You want to pass the values to this procedure, we can define the arguments. Argument 1, so argument 2, like this we can go. Internally, you can declare the local variables here with a dim statement, dim variable 1, variable 2, like this. Then which script do you want to reuse? Reusable script you can create here. This is a reusable script. Then say that end sub, like this. Now, once I created this sub procedure, I need to call the sub procedure. Directly it won't execute. We need to call the sub procedures. How do you call the sub procedure? What is the driver for the sub procedure to call? To call sub procedure. To call sub procedure, I can go like this. A syntax. You can use the call is the keyword, procedure name, then value 1, value 2, like this. If you want to call the sub procedure. Or else there is other way also you can say, just taking a simple procedure name, value 1, value 2, like this. Based on the number of arguments you can pass the values. Now here I want to create one sub procedure to perform the multiplication operation for given set of values. So I want to create sub procedure to perform multiplication operation for given set of values. Given set of values. So how we can create it? So syntax is sub. Procedure name I'm going to take as sample. To take the inputs, so I need to go for the arguments here. I can say a comma b. Then internal I'm going to declare the one variable c. Then c equal to a multiplied with b. Then I'm saying the message box. Multiplication of given values is ampersand c. I'm going to say. If I run it, it won't execute unless you call this sub-procedure. The how to call, use call, procedure name here sample, give the values 5, 6. If I run it, now control will goes to directly first driver, from driver to it will go for the procedure. The procedure script is going to execute. Okay. So multiple given values is 30. Now we can pass this 5, 6 to the AB. Is it passing or not? Like that. I want to check. This is debugging. Use the breakpoint here. Again you run the script. So in the middle I want to see that what are the values are there in these variables. You can go for debug viewer. In that go to variables, you can find that. C is empty. So if A value 5, B value 6 is there. Okay. Like this, we can perform the debugging in order to check right values are passing or not to the variables. Okay. So I want to remove the breakpoint. Once again, you click here. Just remove. Okay. So or you can say here only sample. Let me learn. Sample 5, 6 you can do. Not going to execute. Multiplication of given values is 30 like this. But what is the drawback here in this sub-procedure? We can pass the values to the sub-procedure like this. We can pass the values to the sub-procedure, whereas we can't get the value back to the main script. 5, 6 I can pass for A and B. But this value I want to get outside the sub-procedure. Here we can't get it. Sub-procedure will not return the value. For the purpose where we are going to use the function procedure they given. If you want to get some value back, you can go for the function procedure. So how do you create the function procedure? As an automation test, always we have to get some status. Some program executed. There may be dependency. For the purpose where we are going to use the function procedure, not the sub procedure. The syntax is almost identical, but whereas in place of sub, we have to use the keyword called function. Sub procedure and function procedure syntax is almost identical except the keywords which I have sub, where we have to write function, here also we have to write the function. The main thing is okay, like now see that how we can use it. I have the here sub is there. I am going to change this as function. Here also I have the function. Okay. Now if I run it, as like suppose it going to execute. Now what is my intention? Whatever value is there, this value I want to get back to the main script here. So function, from function, how we can get the value? If it is Java, there is a return we are going to use keyword. But here there is no such a formalities here. What we have to do? What is your function name? What is the function name here? What is the function name? Sample. Now you assign value for the function name within that function procedure, which value it has to return. Which value it has to return for the function name within that function procedure you have to assign. That value it going to returns to you. Now to read that value some variable required res equal to result equal to sample 5 comma 6 I'm going to say. Then message box of res result. Now if I run it, multiplication of given values, where we got here. So we got into the main script or not? Here is getting here. So I pass some values. This function return the value to the my variable res result. I'm getting. So this is the way how we can return value from the function procedure function name. Now there is a question here. How many values you can pass? How many values your function procedure can return? How many values? How many values? Only one value to going to return. I can pass the multiple values for the function procedure, but how many values are only one value you can assign or not? So one value is going to return to you. Okay. So these are the questions from the functions in VB script. Okay. So what we discussed here, functions in VB. What is the intention of the functions? Reusability of the script. Like actions, reusability. But functions are there within the action also we can reuse the script. There are two types of functions are there in the VB script. One is built-in functions, other one is user-defined functions. Built-in functions are default, predefined functions like message box, input box, or string functions which you have like trim, split, mid. That comes under built-in functions in the VB script to perform specific operation. Based on requirement, we can define our own functions. Those are called user-defined functions. The user-defined functions are two types. One is sub-procedure, other one is function procedure. When you're coming to the function procedure to the sub-procedure will not return the value. Function procedure will return the value. To return the value by function procedure, we need to assign the value for the function procedure. Here, these are called arguments, argument 1, argument 2, which will read the values from the driver. So here arguments are two types, by val, by reference. By val, by reference. Default argument type is by reference here. Memory will be addressed, not the value. Okay, like this. Now, we got some idea, the syntax. We got idea or not? How to create. Now, functions in QTP. So in QTP, we have the three types of functions. What are those? One is built-in functions. Second one is local script functions. Third one is library functions. Like reusability, non-reusability. The same way here, local script functions. So library functions we have. Now first one, built-in functions. These are nothing but VB script built-in functions only. They are built-in functions. Okay. Example, whatever we used again, MSC box or input box or split, string functions, split, trim, split, to split the main string into the substrings, trim, to remove the leading and trailing spaces for a given string, mid function to read the substring from the main string, are the default VB script functions which are supported by the QTP. Your built-in functions are going to call. The second one which you have the local script functions. Local script functions can be sub-procedure or function procedure. So here privileges are going to be changes, local script functions to the library function, where we can use, that is going to be changes. But here local and library both are user defined functions. So local script functions means these functions we can call within the action in which action you created. The scope of the local script functions, one action only, where you created. Let us see, this is the function I created, sample. Now this one I want to call into another action within the test. Calls new action, action 2. So what is the name I given there? X equal to sample. So 9 comma 8 I'm going to give. Then message box of X. If I run it, what happens to see? Action 1 successfully executed. In this action, I can call this sample function number of times by passing the different values. Whereas that function I cannot call in another action. The scope of the local script function within the action only, in which action you created. You can't call that one into the other actions. Now, this is not the right way to use the scripts as an automation test. So we may discussed already local object repository, shared object repository. Local object repository test objects are within the action, only that action script, not for the other actions. That is the reason where we are going to work on the shared repository files to reuse the test objects into the different actions in different tests. Same way, the functions which I am going to create, those functions also I need to increase the reusability to call into the different actions in different tests. For the purpose, we have the library functions. That is the library functions. So library functions we can call into any action script, any test by associating a library function file. Shared repository file also we can do like that, but without associating is not possible. We have to associate it. The same way, library functions also we have to create and which we need to associate. How do you create library functions? How do you associate library functions? In which file we have to maintain library functions and how we can associate the library functions. So library functions we can create using Notepad. Notepad, you can create the library function. Or in QTP, they given one editor, like our test pane, there is another editor they given called function library editor. Called function library editor. So both we can use to create the library functions. Let me show one using Notepad how I can create. This function now I am not going to maintain in this action. I will going to open the Notepad here. Save file. In my working folder, I want to save to C drive, 10 AM October. New folder I want to maintain for the functions. In that, I'm going to create user defined function 1 dot extension I can give dot VBS, Visual Basic Script. Save it. Once I create it like this, now if I run it, will I get the values or not? You see that? No, we won't get it. Once we created, we need to associate that library function file to the QTP. How do you associate it? You can go to the settings here, file menu, settings, go to the resources, browse the library function file where it is available. Where I have C drive, 10 AM October, so functions, user defined function 1. This one, click on OK. Now see that if I run it, getting the value or multiplication value, action 1, action 2. If you go to the view menu, test flow component, test flow component. Action 1, action 2. Available keywords. Insert menu, view menu, available keywords. What is showing here? There is an expand icon. If I click that one, you're showing the function name or not? Because we associated that library function. Okay. Now I want to delete it. The other possibility, dynamically I want to associate. So I'm going to remove the associated library file. The execution time I want to associate. Then how I can do that? Action 1. Simple syntax here. Execute file, path of the library function file. Like this. Every action you have to associate. If you are associating library function file like this, action 1, action 2. In one file, you can maintain n number of functions. There is no limitation. Now if I run it, this way also we can associate. So I shown that using Notepad how to create the library function. Same thing, I can go file menu, new, there is an option called function library. When I go to function library, so here I can write some function name here, function sample. So no arguments here. Just I want to display that message box. This function created in function library editor. This function created in function library editor. Right click here, save. The extension of the file .qfl. The function name, file name I am going to give here, user defined function to .qfl, quick test function library. Quick test function library it is. I want to close this section, right click again here, close it. Test. Same one, but user defined function 2 it is. Extension of the file is, what is the extension? QFL. Now no values to pass, just I want to call the function here, that one. What I can say here, sample, I guess. Action 2. So same thing in action 1 also. Now if I run it is. Now see the executing or not. Action 1, action will go to execute like this. Now what we discussed now, functions in QTP, built-in functions, local script functions, library functions. So local script functions scope is within the action. A library function scope is any action, any test. Then library functions how to create. Using Notepad you can create, or you can use function library editor. The extension of the library function file supports .txt, .vbs and .qfl. Either way going to supports. How do you associate? Through test settings we can associate, or dynamically we can associate. If I want to associate dynamically library function file, the syntax is execute file path of your library function. So library function file you have to give like this. Now one of the famous question interview point of view, what is the difference between functions to the actions, actions to the functions? Now see, actions by default associated with a local object repository and local sheet in data table. That's what we discussed in the last test. Whenever you create new action, by default QTP providing action sheet in data table, local object repository in object repository, action folder in test folder. That's what. But when you go for the functions are not associated with any local object repository and a local sheet. The second point, when we call actions, then we will get the corresponding action script. Not only that, you will get the corresponding local object repository test objects. And also, you will get the local sheet data when you call the action, because those are internal dependent. When you call an action, by default, these three things also are going to get, not only script, internally test objects and test data from the action sheet. But when you call the functions, only we are going to get the function script only. By copying an action script, you can do the modifications. Yes, we have the call to copy of action. We use the driver, whatever script are copied, you can do the modification. Read and write mode it is. But functions by calling, you can't do any modification. Actions will not support backward compatibility. That means I created QTP action script in 11.5 version. The script I want to execute QTP 11.0, not possible. Because actions internally associated with the QTP features also. So latest version of the QTP I created script, same script I want to execute lower version of the QTP. It's not possible. But functions will go into execute. Will support the backward compatibility. That's the reason in organization, maybe you need to work on the previous version of QTP also. QTP may not support in latest version. Then they are going to ask that go for the previous version of QTP, you do the automation. Already we have the license, use that one. So functions are preferable there, not the actions. Now, other difference here, actions we can create within the QTP only. In QTP only you can create functions. In QTP you can create. Using Notepad also you can create or not. If QTP doesn't have, you have the knowledge on QTP VB script, you can develop the script using Notepad also. Functions you can create like that. Okay. That's the different points we have when I go for the actions to the functions. Okay. There's a concept. Next we are going to discuss about the small concept here, like functional decomposition framework. We'll discuss how it is going to be. Functional decomposition framework. Let us understand my here. Set A equal to browser of browser name, sorry, description dot create. Then A of MIC class dot value equal to link. Then set B equal to browser of browser name dot page of page name dot child objects of A. Then message box of B dot count. Let me open one application to me here. If I want to write the script for this page, browser means I should go for the name. Page means title we are going to use. Now what was those for this application? You have to go for object spy to inspect the element here. Click somewhere in that page. Go to the browser in this hierarchy list. What is the browser name is there? Welcome Mercury Tools is there. If I go for the page title is welcome, both are same is there. Now I am going to use here, and here also I am going to use like this. Okay. Now if I run it, what is the output we are going to get? What is the purpose of this program? To find number of links available in a page. Okay. Now if I run it, will it get or not? Yes, saying that 6 links are there. Now let us assume that Here my internet is not working in this VMware. So here I may open another page here. So that script, whatever script already I created, that script is not able to execute on this page. If I open Reddit mail here, suppose here I may open some page like this. Gmail I open. So here name is changed, title is changed or not. This script is not reusable. Now what I can do here, I want to go for the name in place of name. Any opened browser I want to save. Creation time as 0. Creation time as 0. Now here title, what I want to say that as title, whatever it is, any title, a regular expression I'm giving. Now if I run, is it going to execute or not? Any page, this script I can execute to find number of links availability. Any page I can find number. Only one link is there here. What is that link also? Maybe this is a back link is there. The link is showing only one. Now if I open this one, if I run, 6 links are there showing that. Now I go for another page here. If I run, here also I have the only one link is showing that. Okay. In this page I have only one link. That is only use Java version. This only link is there. That the images they give image wise here they give. Okay, let me go to home page. Now this is to find, what is the purpose is to find number of links in a page. Now I want to find this time to find number of edit boxes. I want to find number of edit boxes. How we can write the script here? So can I go for the same type of script? Yes or no? Where I need to change now? If I want to go for edit box, instead of link I need to give web edit. I need to give. Yes or no? Let me run it. 6 is given and 2 is given. 2 edit box are there. Now I want to find number of images or availability. Same type of script I can write. I can give here class as image. Is it correct or not? Image. Okay. Some image objects are there. If I run, 6 is there, 6 links are there, 2 edit box are there, 38 image objects are there in the page segment. So by seeing this one, as per the script, when I execute, output is correct. Output is correct. Nothing is wrong here. But as per the standards, it is not correct. Why? You observe that same statements again and again I am writing or not? Today, earlier I said that if that type of script again and again required, what we have to do? We have to make that one into the one function. Only here for the function I can pass which class object count I want to find that class. Instead of repeating the statements like this, I can take that portion of script into one function. Now see, this portion I want to take into the one function. So I want to make one function to find specified class objects count. Specified class objects count. Now what is the function syntax? Function name I am giving as obj underscore count of my object. argument as my object, then function. Set A. This is common. Here second line, link is not. Whatever class I am going to give, that class my object. So set B. Any opened page, they has to find. So B dot count. B dot count. It has to display. So now you can, with the clarity purpose, you can go for like this. So function has to return the number of objects availability, object count equal to return it. Now if I want to find number of links, no need to write this many statements. Just you can write here print, or suppose a already is x equal to, what is the function name? Obj underscore count. Which object class do you want to find? A link class. Then say that print number of links are ampersand x, like this. Now number of edit boxes, same thing here again, y equal to obj underscore count, then edit boxes, web edit, then print number of edit boxes are ampersand y. Z equal to print number of images are ampersand Z. So like this. So one point we discussed during descriptive programming. When do you prefer descriptive programming? Why values are not getting here? Number of links are set, creation type, page title, okay. My object, okay. Object count, obj count. What is the function name I given? Underscore I given here. Obj underscore is missing. That's right. And then displayed by here 6 to 38. Okay, like this we are going to get. Now this is the script we can execute on any open web page to find number of links availability, number of image objects availability, number of hitbox availability. Other class also you want to find, maybe checkboxes. You have to give the web checkbox like this. So there is the first point which I said while explaining the descriptive program. When do you prefer descriptive program? To create generic functions, generic scripts, to perform the operations on similar type of objects, similar type of applications. So when we are going to create the script with functions using generic script, not general script, generic script, descriptive program like this, this type of framework we are going to call functional decomposition framework. Functional decomposition framework we are going to call. But what is the disadvantage of this one means? All the scenarios we can't do like this. Some scenarios only we can do like this. Complete project, every scenario I want to go for like this means not possible. Particular scenario, particular transaction only I want to do, not for all. So some scenarios purpose only we can go for the functional decomposition framework, not for all. Okay. Now, the other one is keyword driven framework. Keyword driven framework. In this framework, we create library functions with a general script, and those functions we call based on the keywords or business transactions in application. Create library functions to perform operations on flight reservation application. Three transactions are taken. Function 1 to launch application, function 2 to perform login operation, function 3 to close application. Call all these three functions based on the keywords availability in our external data table, one after one continuously. Like this, what are the different transactions are there in the application? For every transaction, we are going to create the individual functions. So whenever we want to go for the build verification test, at that time, those transaction script only we are going to take into the Excel sheet. The keywords we are going to maintain. According to that keywords, corresponding functions we are going to call to check your build is stable or not. This type of framework is more suitable for the build verification test because functions we can pass only one set of values. But one more thing here, whenever we are going to use the functions, the major part of the functions, reusability of the script. Major purpose of the functions is reusability of the script. But whenever reusability means different actions, different tests we can call. But function doesn't have associated repository. For the purpose, wherever you are going to call the function, there we need test objects. Test objects also you have to maintain the reusability format. Reusability format means we have to go for the shared repository file. Functions when are going to work, for test object purpose you have to work on the shared repository files. Same way, we have one concept in QTP to reuse the test data. How do you reuse test data? Using environment variables, external environment variables. Now that means whenever we are going to work with the functions, you should be aware of these three things. So let me take this one on the session.